Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about analytical paragraph, which is a part of your class 10 CBSE syllabus. For your convenience, I have added timestamps so that if you wish to watch any segment again, you just need to click on that timestamp to go through it. So let us get started then. Okay. So we will first understand what is an analytical paragraph. An analytical paragraph, children, is a form of descriptive writing which is written on the basis of a given chart, graph, data, outlines, clues, table, etc. You should always remember that to describe the facts in the best possible manner and to cover up all the information that is given in the question. The word limit for the analytical paragraph is within 100 to 120 words, and for that you need to have crisp and clear language giving all the complete details of the chart that is required in the given question. We are now going to discuss the important features of an analytical paragraph. Analytical paragraph describes the given chart, table, data, graph, etc. Always remember that the analytical paragraph has to be brief and comprehensive. That means it always has to be to the point. Okay? And at the same time, you also need to remember that within that brief and comprehensive passage, you have to cover all the complete information at the same time. Then you should state the fact that is given in the chart as per the question. Always remember, children, that you need to make use of simple and accurate language. Next, it should mention the figures and the quantities appropriately as per the given question. The most important part, always make use of the same tense throughout. That means if you have begun the analytical paragraph in the past tense, that same tense needs to continue right from the beginning till the end. Continuing with the important features, no personal observation or response should be provided. You cannot provide your own opinion or view. You have to go along with the data that is given in the question. And lastly, it would be preferable to use the passive form of the verb. Like, for instance, you have to say that it has been stated that, because you are writing in the past tense. You cannot write anything that is there in the present. So, we generally use the passive form when we write about any action that has already occurred, that has already been completed. So please remember, children, that when you are writing your analytical paragraph, always use the passive form of the verb. We shall now discuss the format of analytical paragraph. You will notice, children, that analytical paragraph is divided into three parts. The first one is the introduction, where you need to explain in just 1 or 2 lines what is the given subject, about the given subject. Just introduce the subject over there. Then in the body, you will explain in details what the paragraph is about, giving the data that is given there in the question. And along with that, you can also use relevant figures, explain the current trends, make comparisons and contrasts, and divide it into sub-paragraphs if needed. And ultimately, we have the conclusion, where you will conclude the analytical paragraph by giving the overall view or summary of the graph. Okay, now let us go through some useful tips. For the introduction, children, you may begin with the following phrases. Like, you may say, the chart given above describes, or you can write, the table suggests, or the line graph. If the graph in the question is the line graph, you can say, the line graph shows, Then, if the question is in the form of a pie chart, you can say the pie chart illustrates that. And lastly, you can also write the data given provides information about, and then you can begin with the introductory paragraph. For describing trends in the body, when you are explaining in details, you can use phrases like the pattern of growth, or the data is showing an increase, you can write rapidly doubled, or you can write skyrocketed, which also means increase, striking increase, peaked, which also means increased, soaring rates. Then if you see in the graph, you can use words like declined. Then again you have plummeted, which means a rise, leveled off, then stagnated if the data remains the same, it does not change, fluctuating if the data keeps on going up and down, then starting to rise, starting to fall, drop down, and ultimately slightly. So these are a few words or phrases which you can use in the body of the analytical paragraph. For the conclusion or other connecting phrases, you can use words like overall or subsequently, phrases like in all, in a nutshell, for the chart given, in short, striking changes, including, therefore. I think you will be able to understand the analytical paragraph better with the help of a few examples. Let us discuss example 1, where we will be going to think about an analytical paragraph on the consumption habits of India, China and the world overall. You can see the question that is there on your screens. Below are given 3 pie charts showing the consumption habits of India, China and the world overall. You have to write an analytical paragraph describing these pie charts within 100 to 120 words. If you go through the pie charts, children, you will notice that the percentage of processed food in the world is 41%, in China it is 34%, and in India it is 39%. Then comes vegetables and fruits, which is 29% in the world, 32% in China and 23% in India. The others are also explained there likewise. Let us now move about how we will write this analytical paragraph. In the second example, we will be dealing with the internet activities for 6 categories for different age groups. Children, you might have noticed that the earlier question was in the form of pie chart. Now the data is given in the form of a table. You will notice that the following table shows the details about the internet activities for 6 categories for different age groups. You have to write an analytical paragraph for the table given in and around 100 to 120 words. I hope you can see the question clearly on your screens. So let us now go ahead with how to write the analytical paragraph. You can write, the given table suggests the internet activities of 7 age groups ranging from teens to those in their 70s for 6 different kinds of activities. The table shows that the younger generation is more interested in online games and news, while the older generation spends time on the internet to research and buy products. This is your introductory part. Moving on to the body, you can write, it is evident from the table that teens mainly use the internet for games, news and downloads. They are more interested in searching for people or friends or doing any product research. The middle age group that is people in 20s to 60s, on the other hand, is highly interested in getting news, doing product research and buying products. The internet activity which gets the least time in searching for people. All the age groups spend less than 30% of their internet time on the same. The amount of time spent on downloads decreases with age and gets as low as 6% for people in 70s. So in the conclusion you can write that you will notice that overall the internet is mostly used by teenagers who are always busy using their mobiles to look out for online games and for researching on new things. With this, we come to the end of today's video. Children, if you wish to join my ongoing online English classes, you are always welcome to join, where you will get more examples and you will be able to know more in details about the chapters taught. Thanks for watching.